Hey guys, this week Dwayne Johnson wants to hashtag restore the SnyderVerse. Yay! Pixar wants premium access on Disney Plus, and you'll want to hear this about the new Square Enix video game Balan Wonderworld, whether you have epilepsy or not. Also, this week scientists in Japan are experimenting with a new drug that promises to help people regrow their own lost teeth. I'm waiting on the pill that helps you grow your own bejeweled grill. Welcome to the weekend. Hey guys, what's up? Thanks so much for watching Weekend Showcase. My name is Don Shannon. With me this week is...
Thurg.
Awesome. Thanks, Thurg, for dropping by this week. And thanks you at home for watching. Let's go ahead and get started. First order of business this week. Apparently, we've got momentum as far as the SnyderVerse. The hashtag Restore the SnyderVerse campaign that's been running rampant all over Twitter in recent weeks, especially since the release of the long-awaited Snyder Cut of Justice League. And, well, apparently the Black Adam movie that's about to come out next year, thanks to producer Dwayne Johnson, producer and star Dwayne Johnson, I should say, there's another chance to see what what Zack Snyder's original vision was for the DC universe going forward. Thurgood, what are your thoughts on this? Should we give the Snyder Cut another shot, or should we basically move forward with DC continuity as is?
I think, look, to be honest, Snyder's vision, because I haven't been able to watch the Justice League yet, but I've been hearing that the Snyder Cut is the best way to watch this movie. And if you look about it, it's like, if you look at a lot of the non-Snyder movies, they've been getting like really bad reviews and people have been hating it. But a lot of the Snyder movies, like the Snyder Justice League, I heard is one of the best like DC films of the DC cinematic universe. So yes, I think they should go back to Snyder. I think they should go back to Zack Snyder. Like, I think they should go with this vision because Zack Snyder's been getting a lot of good publicity recently, and I think they should go with it.
Yeah, I have seen the Snyder Cut actually a few days ago, and it's it just reminds me of all the information, all the reviews that were finally, once the embargo released a couple weeks ago, that were all saying basically the same thing. This is the version that should have been released in 2017. You know, and obviously there was, you know, we all know by now there was an extreme personal tragedy that happened in Snyder's personal family that was getting in the way of his ability to finish that, and then he had to step down. Warner Brothers had to bring in Zack Snyder, Joss Whedon, excuse me, and we all know what happened from there. Yeah. But I mean, to Thurgood's point, this is the original. Snyder's vision is the original vision of this movie, and the Snyder Cut being released finally now, 4 years later, well, 3.5 years later, that is as close as we'll basically ever get to actually seeing the beginning stages of what his true original vision was for this franchise. And it's so bittersweet seeing this movie. I liked it. I actually liked it a lot. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, especially given all of what I know are basically useless plot threads, given how not main continuity this film is being treated as. Because don't forget, Aquaman does not acknowledge the Snyder Cut at all. Shazam does not acknowledge the Snyder Cut at all. You know, because obviously they came out before. But at the same time, we're supposed to accept, at least as far as from a continuity standpoint, we're supposed to accept that Man of Steel still happened, Dawn of Justice still happened, Suicide Squad still happened, both Wonder Woman movies still happened because they're both technically prequels. And so, given all of that framework, if you really look at the Justice League movie as basically a nexus point where the timeline sort of diverges between Snyder's continuity and pre-established DCEU continuity, I mean, it's a really appealing sort of almost an Elseworlds kind of scenario that you could kind of treat it as from a DC comic standpoint, right, Thurgood?
Wait, okay, so question, so didn't Zack Snyder direct Man of Steel? Wasn't that what started the DC cinematic universe anyways?
Yeah, extended universe, actually. DC extended universe is the proper name for it, to be fair. But yes, to answer your question.
So why not just go with Zack Snyder's vision? He's the one who started it. Because I know, like you were saying, he couldn't, you know, family tragedy and all that stuff. Well, bro, just go with it. Because a lot of these, because of all the movies I've seen from the DC extended universe that I've gotten good reviews. It's like I've seen people give what's his face, Man of Steel, good reviews. The original Wonder Woman, Shazam, but that's not a Zack Snyder movie, and the Justice League Snyder cut. So
I mean, to be fair, Zack and his producing partner Deborah Snyder, his wife, they're both credited producers on all of those movies, basically. So they're all technically like sort of overseeing those movies anyway, to a certain degree.
So just go with Zack because he knows what the heck he's doing. Because it's like just go with Zack, bro. Like honestly, because all the other movies I did list have gotten bad reviews, or I heard they were like freaking boo boo butt cheeks, bro. It's like that. Like when I was watching, I'm not gonna lie, Batman versus Superman is an absolutely awful freaking movie. The only part I enjoyed, it's like it's funny in all the wrong reasons, like the Martha scene. Like you mean to tell me that these two freaking grown men, you have an alien and a freaking guy in a bat outfit, are fighting each other, and what stops them from fighting is that both of their mother's name are Martha or something like that. Why'd you say that name, Martha?
Yeah, how in the world did it take literally like 80 years to finally notice that, to have like the movies or like anything really outside of the actual comics themselves acknowledge that common thread, that insanely coincidental common thread between these two characters and their mothers? How in the world did that happen?
Exactly. Then also, who the heck, bro? Dog, who in their right minds casted Jesse Eisenberg as not Lex Luthor, but it was like his nephew or something like that?
So
that
yeah, because
Lex, it's like a relative.
I think it was his father was the real Lex, because remember, he's the Lex in front of the corp, right? Remember that line from Dawn of Justice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was his son?
I think that's what it was, but it's
who casted him as that, bro?
I don't know. I think
like when he was playing that role, he was trying to be like a fake Heath Ledger. He wanted to be Heath Ledger's Joker so badly, and it failed awfully, bro. It failed so awfully. I don't know who casted him, bro, but that's like one of the worst castings I've ever seen in my freaking life, dude.
I don't think it was deliberate necessarily, so much as like that's just how it kind of came across to people who like that's what it just that's just what it that's the memory that his performance triggers to people, basically.
I still didn't watch the Justice League, honestly, but yeah, it's like I think what the original Justice League, what a lot of people said was they were trying to be too much like, you know how like in the Marvel movies they have to have like 50 freaking jokes a minute and stuff like that. Or they're always cracking like freaking jokes and quips in the Marvels movies. Like that just feels out of place in like DC or in the Justice League, like in the Justice League like live action movies. And I've heard they're doing that a lot. Like I was watching like the trailer. I saw the trailer to the original Justice League, and it just felt so weird to see Batman just cracking all these like freaking jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it seemed really out of character. Especially, do you remember that part where he's like, "Yeah, that's bleeding. Something's bleeding." Right?
Yeah, I'm like,
that's not in the trailer, but it's like that's the actual scene, like right after he sort of like gets grabbed by Superman, right?
Oh yeah, because I didn't see. I saw Batman versus Superman, but I didn't see the original Justice League either.
Oh, okay. So yeah, mild spoiler alert. There is a scene in Justice League.
Okay, is it black? Is it black suit Superman?
No, it was in the theatrical cut. It's he didn't even have the suit yet at that point anyway. But
that's not Batman though. Like Batman doesn't. Adam West's Batman is like funny. He's funny in like a comical, like campy way that's charming. But no, Ben Affleck Batman should not be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how seriously and how gritty the Robert Pattinson version is when that comes out. I think next year is when that movie comes out.
Are they shooting? Are they back to shooting? Because I know it got delayed because Pattinson had COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, the last thing that I had seen was that they did push it up to 2022. I mean, God, I remember that trailer that they released last year was breaking all kinds of crazy records. The trailer that they released for during DC Fandom,
so good, dude.
Yeah.
The trailer is so good.
I mean, it's almost worth the price of admission in and of itself, as we all know. But
exactly.
But in any event, that's another topic for another day. That standalone movie. But
Yeah.
back to SnyderVerse. Yeah, the bottom line here is Warner Brothers needs to get on this, and Sarnoff or whoever is, I think, the big decision maker at Warner Brothers at the studio level really needs to sort of start reading the tea leaves as far as the fan interest, because a lot of people have been watching this movie. A lot of people have been loving the Snyder Cut, and we want to see where this goes. I really hope that we can move forward here. Don't you?
Yep, I really want to see this. I want them to keep doing this.
Cool.
Look, if your player is dropping 40, if your player has 40 points in the game and it's game 7 of the NBA Finals, and you have 1 minute left, the score is tied. Are you going to take Zack Snyder out the game?
Fair enough. The answer, of course, being obviously no. You can't just you don't bench your star player in the last minutes of the last quarter of the championship game. It's like rule 1, basically.
You don't.
Yeah.
Let Snyder play, baby.
Right. Okay, let's move on. Second topic this week is apparently a complicated one. There is a little bit of infighting between the different studios at Disney, because apparently Pixar is kind of feeling some type of way about their movies not really being taken as seriously as other Disney properties that are getting treated with premium access sort of gatekeeping. In other words, premium access, for those who don't know, is a thing where certain movies on Disney Plus, you need to actually pay for it, not just your Disney Plus membership, but an extra, usually $30 cost to stream certain movies that are day and date with theatrical releases, or what would have been the theatrical release, basically. So Mulan being the most famous example of this. Raya and the Last Dragon is the most recent example of this. And a couple weeks ago, we got news that the next Marvel movie, Black Widow, is going to be released in this exact same way. I don't know if Shang-Chi is going to be released the same way just yet, but and this is in direct opposition to Soul being released free of charge, basically, back in December. So it's
look, man, I can understand. It's like I can understand as a studio, Pixar. I can understand Pixar feeling, kind of rejected or kind of feeling upset that, hey, how come their movie is counted premium but mine's isn't? But look, if you're paying for a subscription, for a streaming service, you should not have to pay extra freaking money, especially $30 to watch and not own the movie, but have the permission to watch the freaking movie. And I just think if you're already paying for Disney Plus, all the movies on that freaking service should be free. Especially, look, you have to pay $30 for Mulan, which is Dookie Butter Cheeks or whatever the heck. That movie is garbage, bro. That thing is doo-doo water, bro. It's like, just watch the original. So I'm paying $30 for disappointment, bro.
So it sounds like you're a fan. No.
It's my favorite ever, bro.
No. But see, I don't want us burying the lead here and getting too sidetracked from the true point of this topic here, because it's really easy to sort of lose yourself in the pro-consumer standpoint of this. Stop charging me twice for the same content, because that's basically what we're talking about here. Premium access means you're being charged twice over to access this movie for a limited time that they're giving you access to it. You're not actually owning it, like you said. And it's only for a limited time, for however long you would even have access to it, basically. Depending on the movie, depending on the license rights for that movie. And this is in direct opposition to Soul, which gets blasted out on Disney Plus on Christmas Day. No premium access, extra cost to it, which is fantastic from a consumer standpoint. Don't get me wrong. That was a very Merry Christmas, because Soul was an amazing movie. We actually did a reaction to it the week after that came out, and that podcast should still be up on our Anchor feed, as on our Anchor.fm podcast feed, as well as wherever you get your podcasts, if you happen to be interested in listening to commentaries. Slight plug, but there's a larger issue that is at hand here, which is that I do feel that Pixar has a leg to stand on here. They have a significant leg to stand on here, especially given that this is freaking Pixar that we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like the Oscars, the Academy had to invent a whole category specifically to honor Toy Story 3. The Best Animated Feature category did not exist before 2010. And then here comes Lee Unkrich and Toy Story 3. And that movie just tugged at everybody's heartstrings all summer long, broke all kinds of records. And, you know, and here all of a sudden, fast forward 10 years later, we see Pixar running around basically looking like they're suffering from Lisa Simpson syndrome, like behaving like the unloved middle child here. And justifiably so. I mean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, look, I could understand why Pixar feels this type of way, because their legacy. A leg to stand on, legacy. But okay, but they have
ouch, that hurt. Ow.
I'll be all day, folks. Okay, but okay, bad puns aside. Okay, but they have a legacy to stand on, or whatever like that. They have a legacy. Like, they have saved Disney in multiple times. They come out with a lot of Disney's like best movies. And they've been with Disney for so long. So just to have these like random movies be premium, but then not the Pixar movie was odd. And I think like also because like Disney has had a history of screwing over Pixar. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but there was actually a point in time when Michael Eisner was president when he was CEO or whatever like that. There was actually a time that Disney and Pixar split and went separate ways, and Disney was going to make their own sequel to Toy Story, but luckily that movie never came out, and we eventually the CEO after Michael Eisner was like, "Yo, what the heck are you idiots doing, man? Get Pixar back." So
yeah, this was like tail end of '99, I think. By the time they finally released, you're talking about Toy Story 2, right?
Yeah, because like Michael Eisner or whatever, he gave Pixar. So I think like Pixar didn't like, Steve Jobs didn't like the deal that Disney was trying to give for Pixar or whatever like that. So they went their separate ways. Then like the next president or CEO or whatever like that, he was like, "Yo, you guys are idiots. Get Pixar back." They got Pixar back, and we did get the Toy Story, because the non-Pixar Toy Story 2, I think, was supposed to be like direct to video.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Then, but Pixar's version is a theatrical release. But Disney has had a long history of like underestimating and not treating Pixar right, which makes no sense. If you look at it, most Pixar movies are huge successes anyways, because Pixar had they're the Studio Ghibli of Western media, by the fact that when you see that name, you expect to be a good movie. Like, Pixar could make a movie that's literally just paint drying, and that movie most likely will be a banger. But the only times I can think, the only mediocre or bad Pixar movies I can think of is Cars 2, and then I heard Good Dinosaur was mediocre. But usually Pixar, like, they usually make bangers, bro. They usually make bangers. So you mean to tell me that, I'm gonna use another basketball reference again. You have LeBron James on your team, and you give this man a bad contract. You give this man, like, for, let's see, $100. You're gonna give him, like, LeBron James a $1 million for 4 years contract, while you give some rookie a freaking $400 million 4-year contract, bro. It's crazy. How you gonna do Pixar like that?
Yeah, this was a really sad story to read about, basically, because like you would think that all the different studios that Disney has acquired over the years and sort of has executive control over, up to and including Fox now in recent years, you would think there's a lot better synergy that's happening between all the different studios and all the different intellectual properties that they are in control of. And to hear this revelation coming out from Pixar, it's of all studios. Like, this is something I would expect from Fox, because they're the new kid on the block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is something I would expect from. I would even go one step further and say, like, I might even expect this of Lucasfilm, because if we're being honest, they're not really doing, before the Investor Day announcements this past December, they weren't really doing anything with Indiana Jones. They weren't doing too terribly much with Star Wars outside of Mandalorian.
And the Star Wars
at the time.
My bad, Don.
Go ahead.
And besides the Mandalorian, other Star Wars stuff been flopping, dude. And
I was just going to say that next. Yeah.
yeah. And then even the toys. Star Wars toys used to sell like hotcakes, man.
Mm-hmm.
But those things, if you look at the shelves now, the shelves, the kids don't want the Star Wars toys anymore. Star Wars toys aren't selling anymore.
Yeah. There's a lot of get your act together that kind of needs to happen at Disney pretty darn soon. Is the takeaway from this part of the podcast? I think we can agree to that.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing, also, bro. I don't agree with this practice, but I can at least understand why the live action Mulan movie was premium access. Because for that, Mulan, at the end of the day, is an iconic Disney movie, and it's a powerful brand name because everybody knows Mulan, and it's a powerful name to it.
But how do you explain Raya and the Last Dragon?
That's what I was about to say. That's a new IP. That is a brand new IP that a lot of people have been calling an Avatar ripoff because I haven't seen that movie, but the premise to that movie rips off Avatar a lot.
Mm.
And I can understand Black Widow because the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Marvel is a powerful name. I can understand that being premium access. But yeah, I don't understand Raya in the Last Dragon. That's a brand new IP. I don't understand making that premium access. Disney, I think Disney I don't know what Disney is doing, man, but that's not how you treat your star player, man. It's like Pixar
we're back to the star player thing. Okay.
Yep. Pixar has contributed so much to Disney and has given Disney some of the most iconic characters. That's like how do you do this? How does Raya and the Last Dragon get premium access, but not the studio that gave us freaking Toy Story, Incredibles, Monsters Inc.,
Finding Nemo,
bro, Finding Nemo Up. Oh, that's my movie.
Yeah, it's a sin and a shame, but hopefully this little incident winds up getting worked out for the better very soon, because Disney needs to keep Pixar around and happy.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that. All right. Belle in Wonderland.
See, I'm not gonna lie. I keep calling that. Everybody calls that game Wonderland, but it's Wonderworld for some reason.
Wonderworld. Ah, jeez.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Balan Wonderworld. Yes, I know everybody wants to say Wonderland. They should have just called it freaking Wonderland. But Balan Wonderworld has to be one of the biggest missteps in recent gaming history. How do you get the creators of Sonic the Hedgehog, Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima are on this team? You get these guys, and then you get Square Enix, who the publisher behind so many legendary like franchises like freaking Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest. Bro, oh my, Dragon Quest, so many of them, dude. How do you get all like Chrono Trigger? How do you get so many of these legendary freaking, you get Square Enix, and then you get these legendary like freaking creators. And then you end up dropping the bomb or dropping the ball with Balan Wonderworld, man. Balan Wonderworld, not only has it been getting bad reviews, but the final boss can literally kill you. Not kill your character, but kill you in real life. Because recently, it's been getting horrible reviews, and the final boss, when you play the game, if you play, don't look this up, guys. Please don't look this up. But before the patch they did, the final boss was giving people epilepsy because there was just these bright flashing lights just popping up on the screen randomly for the final boss.
You make it sound like the Porygon episode of the Pokemon anime from like 20 years ago, where the same sort of thing was happening with kids in Japan, I think it was.
Yeah, it got what you call it. The episode got banned because it was dangerous. And it's funny too. Porygon gets all the blame for that episode, but it was actually Pikachu's like thunder that actually caused it.
Yeah, but they fixed that animation for like the American version moving forward, and all the other Japanese episodes moving forward, obviously. But
this franchise is dead, dude. It's a dead freaking franchise, but such a great character is wasted on it, man.
Okay, we have some character development from Thurgood. Apparently, we have just all of the filters disabled right now. Say again what you really feel.
So this makes me angry. This had the recipes to be so good.
So an extra topic this week to discuss is a little on the strange side, but we're going to file this under science news. I'm going to read this from the University of Fukui. Fukui is how this is spelled. I apologize. I'm not sure how to pronounce that exactly. It doesn't come with phonetics. But so a new study, this was published on the 31st, I believe. Oh, excuse me, the 29th. This is published on March 29th. A new study by scientists at Kyoto University and the University of Fukui, however, may offer some hope for, well, hang on. The team reports that an antibody for one gene, uterine sensitization associated gene 1, USAG1, can stimulate tooth growth in mice suffering from tooth agenesis, a congenital condition. So we're talking about gene therapy to undo or fight against what are basically birth defects that attack tooth presence or the lack of tooth strength, basically. I mean, this is, I guess, bad news for orthodontic surgeons and, and dentists, basically, because, like, if you have like problems with your teeth, you can just get them yanked out and regrow them, basically. I mean, but as a scientific discovery, I mean, this is a bit of fresh air, basically, when you look at the fact that for the last year and a half now, all we've been hearing is like things that focus on vaccine progress, which is extremely important, obviously. But it's like, this was almost like a much needed reminder that, like, we're able to make positive scientific progress as a species, as the human species, in a direction that has nothing to do with COVID. We're able to make positive progress in other directions in this field, Yeah,
I'm excited, dude. Like, this is dope. It's like, I think this is really great. They be able to grow back teeth. It's like, say you have like an accident, you get your teeth knocked out, or you just have a birth defect that you didn't ask for, and you start losing teeth. I think that's great.
The study is the first to show the benefits of monoclonal antibodies on tooth regeneration and provides a new therapeutic framework for a clinical problem that can currently only be resolved with implants, crowns, right? That sort of thing, and like whole tooth replacement, and other artificial measures. Yeah. Conventional tissue engineering is not suitable for tooth regeneration. Our study shows that cell-free molecular therapy is effective for a wide range of congenital tooth agenesis, concludes another author of the study. So, yeah, they're really doing some aggressive experimentation here, and hopefully, if this whole thing works out, it gets proper approvals by enough scientific boards and oversight boards and stuff like that. By this time, maybe 5-10 years from now, we could have a pill that lets you grow your own diamond encrusted grill or something. Make that rap career really pop off. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly, man.
All right, that's all the topics that we have for this week. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Showcase. This was for the week ending Sunday, April 4th, 2021. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop us a comment below if you like what you see. If you have some suggestions for what we should talk about next time. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Don Shannon. With me this week was
Thurg.
Have a great weekend. Everyone be safe. We'll see you next time.